In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a slip knot and then how to work a chain stitch. So grab the tail end of your yarn and put it across the palm of your hand. Cross the yarn over your thumb and hold on to it at the back. And make another cross and hold on to it again at the back so that you can let go of it. Grab the top loop and pull it across the bottom loop. Grab that bottom loop and pull up. And there's your slip knot. We're now going to do a chain stitch. I'll show you how I hold the yarn. Everybody does it differently and you will find the best method that works for you. All I do is I lay the yarn between my little finger and the next finger. Then I close my fingers, turn my hand over and underneath the yarn. And that's how the yarn feeds through my hand when I'm working the stitches. So it's not getting caught at all. It's just using that little finger as a way of bringing the yarn across. So let's do a chain stitch. I hold on to the slip knot with my thumb and first finger here, just to guide it so the loop can move freely up and down the hook. And then I use this finger to also guide the chain if I need to. So all you do is you yarn over, so you grab the yarn. As you're bringing the hook towards you, you turn the head of the hook downwards and then pull it through that loop. And that's your first chain. So let's do that again. Grab your yarn. So you're putting the hook underneath the yarn. Turn your hook so that the yarn sits underneath the head of the hook. Hold on to the chain that you've just made with your thumb and your first finger so that you can pull the chain down a little bit that's here, just to make it big enough for you to get your hook through. Point the hook downwards and pull it through that gap. And there's your second chain. Move your thumb and finger up the chain so that acts as a little bit of tension. Put your hook underneath the yarn and make sure it's sat underneath the head of the hook. Turn your hook downwards and pull through that loop. Put your hook underneath the yarn, turn your hook so the head is facing downwards and pull through that loop. If you're finding that the loop that's on your hook, which is known as the working loop, feels a little bit tight, you need to relax your hand so that the yarn can move freely through it here, and hold on to it with your thumb and finger so that you can pull the stitch downwards a little bit to open up the gap. Put your hook underneath the yarn, face your hook downwards, pull it down a little bit with your thumb and finger to widen the gap of this working loop, and then your hook will glide through freely. And as you're going along the chain, just keep moving your thumb and finger up the chain. Put your hook underneath the yarn and turn the head of the hook to point downwards. Grab the chain with your thumb and finger and pull the working loop down a little bit to widen the space, and then your hook will go through that loop. Put your hook underneath the yarn, face it downwards, pull on the chain a little bit and relax your hand so that the yarn moves freely through your fingers, and the hook will glide through freely. So go ahead and make lots of chains. If you've got any scrap yarn, rather than using the yarn that you're going to be making the blanket with, just use any scrap yarn and just any hook. It doesn't matter really, as long as it's not too... Try and look on the ball band as to what size of hook you should be using. And if you are a complete beginner, I know it sounds boring and tedious, but I did it when I first started. It's well worth taking the time to just make chains. You can even use the yarn that you are going to use for your blanket, because you can just undo it. It's not going to harm the yarn at all. So my advice is just keep practicing the chains, and that then serves the purpose of you getting used to holding the yarn and it running through your fingers so that you're relaxing this hand. It also gets you used to using your thumb and finger, if that's how you want to do it, and holding on to the piece or the chains that you're working, and also using this finger if you need to move it up and down the hook. There's quite a few things going on, which is why people always say to practice doing chains, because it will also give you chance to work on your tension, so that each chain is more or less the same as the one before. So spend at least, I would just, when you've got 5 minutes spare in your day, is just go ahead, practice your slip knots in the beginning and practice your chains, and then that will become second nature and you can move on to the sample pieces on the course.